spiritual food for thought.
My advice to any parents out there, godly parents, Christian parents, parents who are trying to pass the faith on to their children, is to not raise your children as if they were Christians. I know that sounds a little odd at first, but hear me out for a minute. The problem is you're not raising Christians, at least not when you get started. You're raising sinful little rebels who need to be reconciled to a holy and righteous God. If you raise them up to believe that they are reconciled already to a holy, righteous God, they'll never have a salvation experience. They'll never choose to become believers. They will assume that they already are. Now, I know that a lot of evangelicals or Baptists or others will look at like the Catholics or the Lutherans and they'll think, oh, well, they baptize infants and they, think that saves them and stuff. And they'll point that out, but at the same time, some of these people will teach their children songs like, I am a C, I am a CH, I am a CHRISTIAN. Do you know what message children get from a song like that? I'll tell you what the message is. The message is, I am a Christian. So if children, as soon as they can sing and talk and, understand and recite letters, are being brainwashed into thinking that they already are believers, we're setting ourselves up for some pretty bad failure here. Okay, God doesn't have grandchildren, you may have heard that before, meaning that each one will stand accountable for himself. Now guess what? Until my children are old enough to stand accountable for themselves, I absolutely am going to be held accountable for them. But if I raise them up to believe that they are believers already, I'm setting myself up for failure. And I'm setting them up for failure as well. So what I would recommend is it's fine to teach your children the ways of the Lord. It's fine to teach your children to obey his ways because they're under your authority. And at some point, I believe that, it's the job of the parent to properly teach your child to be under your authority until they choose, to eventually become under his authority. And those two will probably overlap. But by the time these, young adults are being sent out into the world, I would hope that they've made that choice already, because I know how it goes when kids are out there on their own. If they haven't already made the choice to be under his authority in their life, they're setting themselves up for a lot of hardship. Sure, they may have a much more sensational salvation story one day because of all the bad debauchery and, evil, filthy wickedness that they got involved in that the Lord delivered them from. But remember, out of bounds is out of bounds. Breaking one link of the chain is like breaking them all. It doesn't matter how great or how small the sin is, they're going to need to be reconciled to their Creator. So I just wanted to do a short video just to kind of throw that idea out there. Don't treat your children as if they are already believers. Treat your children as if you're a believer, and your job is to get them to become a believer one day, to set them up to, make that choice for themselves. But if you teach them from a very young age that they already are a believer, it's not going to work out very well. And I think that that's one of the main problems with the modern institutional church, is that a lot of times they just teach these kids that they are Christian kids. Not because they were born into Christian homes. That's not how it happens. You know what I mean? You can't just say, oh, you guys are Christian kids. You came to church. And expect them to think that they're, reconciled to God. I know that's not what you're trying to do, but that's the subtle, brainwashing, the subliminal message that they're getting, is that they're already fine. They're already saved. That they can't lose their salvation. And therefore, no matter what they do in their life, they're going to be okay. It's a dangerous thing, people. Think about it. Take it seriously. Hopefully you understand this message, okay? But don't raise your kids as if they were Christians until they become Christians. All right. Be blessed.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.